Priyanka Agarwal welcomes you all to our channel A to Z Softech. Here you will get educational videos related to NCERT subjects and technical subjects based on computer science. If you find our videos helpful to you, so please like and share the videos. Do subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to get updates about new videos. To get more clarity on the topic, please watch the video till the end. Feel free to post your queries in the comment section below the video. You will get the link of data related to the video in the description box. You can find our video using hashtag NCERT by Priyanka ma'am or hashtag NCERT A to Z Softech. Now let's start with the topic.
Hello, greetings to all students. Today we are going to discuss class 8th chapter 1st history, that is how, when and where. So let's start. Meaning of history. History is concerned about changes that occur over time. It is about finding out how things were in the past and how things have changed. Also, history is the study of past events and it is much more than memorizing dates. So, in this lesson, we will learn how did it happen, when did it happen, and where did it happen. History is referred to span of time. It means we cannot determine a specific date when British rule was started as it happened over a span of time. Similarly, we developed a taste of drinking tea over a period of time. Past versus present state of history. Earlier, history was associated with string of dates. This was because history used to keep a track of battles and big events. At present, history is a wider concept which includes how and what concepts. For example, how people earned their livelihood or what did they produce and eat, etc. Now we will focus that how the dates were selected or what is the criteria to select a set of dates. Dates become important when we assume that a particular set of events are important. Also, most of the history in India was written by British historians. These historians started writing with the rule of first Governor General Vaughan Hastings and ended with the last Viceroy, that is Lord Mountbatten. Now, here a question arises that when we write history or a story, we divide it into parts. Why do we do this? So, to answer this, we can say it is to tell a story in a way that makes some sense and can be followed. In the histories that revolve around the life of British Governor Generals, the activities of Indians simply do not fit. They have no space. Criteria to periodize. In 1870, a Scottish economist and political philosopher named James Mill published a book named History of British India. In this book, the Indian history is divided into three periods, and that were Hindu, Muslim, and British. Now, one more question arises that why should we characterize an age only through the religion of the rulers of the time? So, to answer that, we can say that to do so is to suggest that the lives and practices of the others do not really matter. We should also remember that even rulers in ancient India did not all share the same faith. Now, moving away from British classification, historians have usually divided Indian history into ancient, medieval, and modern. Our next topic is colonial. So, the British rule brought changes in values and tastes, customs, and practices in India. When the subjugation of one country by another leads to these kind of political, economic, social, and cultural changes, we refer to the process as colonization. Indian history classification. As we already discussed that Indian history is divided into three parts that are ancient, medieval, modern. So ancient history is from 4000 BC to AD 500, whereas medieval history is from AD 500 to AD 1500, whereas modern history refers to AD 1500 to present. Now we will discuss about different sources of writing history. Sources that historians use in writing about last 250 years on Indian history includes first one is official records of the British administration. For British, the act of writing was crucial. So every plan, policy, agreement was in writing. This led to administrative culture of memos, noting and reports. Further, British also kept all the documents preserved in the record room which was attached to all administrative institutions. Moreover, these documents were written by calligraphists who specialized in the art of beautiful writing. National Archives of India, Delhi, 1920s. It is a record room where all the documents and letters from government and various administrators have been arranged as per dates from 18th century and are preserved in good conditions. Conducting surveys was common under colonial administration. The British believed that a country had to be properly known before it could be effectively administered. By the early 19th century, detailed surveys were being carried out to map the entire country. The effort was to know the topography, the soil quality, the flora, the fauna, the local histories, and the cropping patterns. From the end of the 19th century, census operations were held every 10 years. Other surveys, for example, archaeological surveys, forest surveys, were also started. Now, we will discuss that what official records do not tell. So first one is records do not tell what other people in the country felt. Next, only diaries of people, travelers, autobiographies of important personalities can tell about literate people. No records of the history is available about the experiences and lives of tribals and the peasants, the workers in the mines, or the poor on the streets. Here our chapter ends. Keep revising and stay safe. Thank you all.